Okay.
Hi, everybody. It's Linda G. And on our wonderful Mel, and I'm getting my boat ready because I've got a lake in my backyard. It is pouring rain. What's it like in Chicago?
Actually it's unseasonably warm. We had a cold day. Well, for February it was normal. The other day it was like I think the high was like 25 and it was like 14 in the morning. That's about normal for Chicago. But yesterday it was like 40 and it was sunshiny. Today the sun's out. I cannot remember when it's been this warm in February.
It was 53 this morning, but that's part of the problem today is that's actually kind of warm, 53. So what's happening is this warm air is going to meet with the cold air. So they're expecting thunder and lightning and possibility of
Tornadoes.
tornadoes.
And that's unusual for California, tornadoes.
The
And it's
last tornado I knew that hit, at least up here, was in this town that I live in now.
I'm telling you, it's a climate change.
Oh yeah,
So
I've been predicting that. I've been saying that water, mudslides. So listen, you guys, right before we came on, Mel and I were engrossed in a conversation about our beloved Navalny. And apparently Russia just announced that they'll give the body back to the family in 14 days after they're good and done with it. But I never felt that he was murdered in a cell. Never. Because he told me he was shocked he had died, but it was sudden. So it could have been poison in his cereal in the morning. Whatever happened, it was sudden. But Putin murdered him. No doubt about it. He might not have had his guys go in and stab him to death. You won't find any stab wounds or beat him to a bloody pulp. I feel you're going to find that probably in his skin tissue, you're going to find poison.
well, they said it's sudden death syndrome, and my notes I put, yeah, murder is sudden death.
But also, this is the other hit I got. I got that. Listen, when he went back into Russia, everybody's like, oh my God, what are you doing? He kind of knew he had a short lifespan. I don't know, it's because those previous poisoning had caused some sort of renal issue or liver issue. But I feel like Putin had already done something to him to shorten his life. So he's like, F it, I'm going in and reclaiming Russia as best as he could. He knew they were going to arrest him.
I think he probably knew if he went back in, he'd get arrested, put in
Yeah.
jail, and that would probably make him a martyr. Um, but I think Navalny told the people, never give up, or however he
Yeah.
said
Even
it,
if they kill me, he said.
don't give up. And
He
that
was happy to do this.
And I also think that that's going to make a lot of you, even though he wasn't Ukrainian, it's going to make a lot of Ukrainians fight harder. Because I heard today that the Ukrainian military just pulled out of a town called, I can't pronounce it, Avdiivka. Um, but I see them taking over that town again. But
Oh, I saw this was temporary. Like they just moved away because they can concentrate on something else. They will
essentially,
get the money from the United States, and it may be President Biden taking Russia's money and handing it to them.
that's what I think. But I think this is going to coalesce the free world against Putin. And even people in Russia, there's been mass arrests because they just put a flower down or
Yeah, there
something.
was this young girl who put a flower on his grave and she got arrested.
I guess that
Who
brings up
does that?
nobody, a dictator. Um, this brings up a really good question. And I had said, my light bulb went on, and I think Navalny's widow, Yulia, uh, Navalnaya, I think. In Russian, you put an A on the end of the name if you're female. Anyway, I think she's going to have a revolution from exile, just like Lenin did.
Yes.
And so that's going to help. A lot of the Russian people are totally tired of Putin and their kids getting killed.
And then their young kids or their grandkids are getting arrested for putting a flower on a grave.
We'll never underestimate the power of a woman. She's going to be responsible to help be responsible in bringing down Putin. But here's the question. Is she safe? Will
No.
Putin poison her?
Yeah, no. And I feel he'll try to send assassins in. I see a lot of really good people, covert people around her, checking the noise that's going on. I see her being protected.
I do too. I do too. And I
But
know some,
no, I see Putin saying, I want her gone.
yeah.
He can't stand women,
Well, I don't think he likes anybody that's ever opposed him has ended up dead, you
but
know?
especially a woman.
Right. Well, he arrested that one woman. I wonder what'll happen to her.
Oh, he's just so mean and ugly.
You know, he reminds me of
Putin,
the
if you're listening, get lost.
cool. Just bad. Um, I mean to Putin, not you.
Right, but he's losing the camaraderie and the love of his people. Let me tell you, he may win this next election because he defrauds them, but
Right,
he's not going to be in office very long if he wins.
right. I see him overturned at some point, or
Yeah.
overthrown. I was gonna say something, I forgot what it was, but oh, I forgot what it was, but anyway. Um, I've seen
Anyway,
him.
it's going, this is actually, God bless you, Alexis Navalny, but he's a martyr. The
Well,
other thing they worry about, like they did with Jesus, when Jesus was martyred, they definitely didn't want people to get a hold of his body because didn't want him to be, you know, proclaimed king, so to speak. And it happened anyway. But
you know,
Jesus exited, but Navalny, they're a little nervous about that. I don't think she can bury him in Russia.
I don't think here's what I was gonna say about his body. They're saying, well, they extended the investigation. They'll find some reason, I've got a feeling, to keep postponing returning the body because they're
Yeah.
going to try to get the poison out of the system. I don't even know if they'll get the body.
Well, yeah, they can't come out naturally because he's dead. They may, I don't know they may even embalm him or something to mess it up.
But my light bulb went on because I had said before that at some point I thought it was Navalny, I think it's Vladimir is his name, that he would like be behind kind of like a Nelson Mandela, you know, uh, at some point being in a leadership role in Russia. Well, I had the name right, but the wrong person. My light bulb went on and say that at some point Julia is going to do that. She's going to, um, I don't know if she'll be president of Russia, but she'll have a strong role in putting a new government in place in Russia. I see a revolution there. I really do.
I do too. And I think she loves her husband so much. In a way, she said, let him kill me
Right.
because then I can be with my husband again.
Well,
She's making sure her children are safe and secure. I think they're in the United States. And I see her just planning. I see money coming in from all kinds of places for her.
yeah, there will be. And I think she'll donate a lot of that to Ukraine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, somebody told me that apparently, somebody even told me, Navalny had a dark side. And I was like, and everybody has a dark side, but he sacrificed. You can't tell me that someone sacrificed themselves for the sake of his nation is not a good entity. He did the right thing in the end. There's even awful people that sacrifice themselves for the sake of a good cause. So, and also they said he was Russia, for Russia taking over Ukraine. I Googled it. I couldn't find anything like
I
that,
don't think
but
that's true.
he was on Ukraine's side.
Yes, and I think what's going to happen in the future is some way or another, once Yulia is so anti-Putin that I see her kind of joining forces in a way with Ukraine and attempting to overthrow Putin. And that's what I see.
That's what I see too.
And just because Ukraine lost that village doesn't mean they'll give up. I don't,
Oh, no, they handed that over right now. Also, they wanted to make a point to tell the United States, you see, we need the money in order to hold this.
well, if Ukraine loses, then Trump and his MAGAs are to blame.
Yeah.
But I see Biden getting money to them some way or another. So anyway,
Okay. So thank you guys for your questions.
we got a lot of them.
Raka asked, when will Fannie Willis, my girl, oh my God, I love her.
Me too.
Somebody wrote me and said she's a Scorpio.
Ooh, that
She
stinger.
don't take no mess.
I just had my light bulb go on. She's going to run for political office at some point, high level, and win.
Okay. Well, they want to know, will she be cleared of the crap in Georgia?
I hear yes.
That's what I heard too.
they're mixing apples and oranges. It's I don't even know if it's a conflict of interest, what it's going to come out. There's going to be a whistleblower that'll come forward and say that some way or another, the lead prosecutor, that his ex-wife was paid
Oh, I
to,
know. She's already announced that she was the one that blew and talked about him, and
right.
that's why he was so desperate to get this divorce. But may I say, I'm not that impressed with him. He's a little flatline for me, and in a way, I feel he might be taken out of the. I think down the road she won't be working with him.
I see him gone. He might recuse himself, but I see another lead prosecutor, and I just wonder what Trump is going to get on that one. It'll always be something.
Oh yeah,
But
and to talk about things like sleeping with somebody else, the lowest form of human that could ever be was Trump. He used to sleep with his friends' wives and call the friend and tell him, I just slept with your wife.
that's horrible. That's
That's who
horrible.
he was.
Well, I think Trump here's what he does. We all know this. He tries to character assassinate people that oppose him. And it's
Yeah,
just a Trump tactic. And you're right, just for the record, I forget the lead prosecutor's name, but his wife was cheating on him, you
that's how
know.
come they split up. She was cheating with his best friend.
So that makes her a hypocrite. And I see him and his ex-wife back in court because I think they weren't supposed to disparage each other, and she did. So
Oh, yeah. And apparently she was spending his money, and she wasn't supposed to be doing that.
he's going to take her back to court. But somebody's going to come forward and show that she got paid some way or another through a second or third party to break that story. And if
Ooh,
that's the case, then that's with
yeah.
tampering with prosecution, and that'll come out.
Okay, now you ask a question.
Okay, this is goody cat mom. I like that. Okay. Are there any groups in the United States that are working on supporting correcting climate change, even though our government is seemingly not doing anything? Will legislation take the fast track once the House and Senate turn blue about climate change?
Yeah, it'll happen when the house turns blue.
Well, I see the EPA, Trump stripped a lot of their powers and rolled back a lot of the restrictions. I see those restrictions put back in place to protect the environment and endangered species. And I think once it turns blue, then we'll see a lot of groups working on climate change. I see the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, getting very active too in filing lawsuits against companies that harm the planet. So
Right, right. Cool. Okay, Lynn said, will the filibuster be overturned or just fixed with the new Biden administration takes over in 2025?
I see it fixed. I think there'll always be a filibuster, but I think, once we get new justices on the court, they're going to say that these big corporations can no longer buy elections, and they're going to also have strict rules for gerrymandering, which is totally unfair,
Yeah,
and also strict rules about filibuster.
awesome, awesome. Okay, you go ahead.
Okay. All right, we've already touched on this one. I'm not going to read this one. Okay. Uh, okay, that one. All right. Okay, here we go. Dakota Celt. I like that. Aloha, marvelous Mel and lovely Linda. Well, you got the lovely Linda right. All right.
Ah, marvelous Mel, that's good.
Right. Okay. Will Sweden and Finland in with Sweden and Finland in NATO and the rising separatist protest in, I think it's Kaliningrad, will recent events force Russia to surrender their only ice-free port on the Baltic Sea? Kaliningrad is an exclave on the Baltic Sea belonging to Russia and surrounded by Lithuania and Poland. It is connected to Russia by some kind of gap. So I guess the question is, will Russia have to surrender their ice-free port on the Baltic Sea? And I hear yes, they'll have to.
I hear yes too, but I think Putin's gone when it happens.
Correct. I see, I see Ukraine being Ukraine again, and I
Yeah.
see them putting back Crimea. And so that's what I see. And at some point, I think once Putin's gone, I think at some point Ukraine and Russian will be friends again. And
Oh,
and I don't know if Russia will be a part of NATO, but I know Ukraine will be.
yeah.
So once
Um,
Putin's gone, I don't see this happening in Russia ever again. But
no, this is Putin's the last of it. I'm wondering if someone like Navalny's wife or a woman takes over Russia.
well, that's what I was saying. I don't know if she'll take over, but she'll be behind putting the person in power. Just like
Right.
Walesa led the whole Solidarność, that labor union in Poland that helped to bring down communism.
Yeah.
That's what she's going to do. I don't think he was ever president, but I see her candidate or whoever that people will vote for because of her. So she's going to have a very active role in Russian politics. Absolutely.
Right. Okay, Raka. Will the Supreme Court rule that Trump court case will be moved forward ASAP?
Well, they're going to say that he's not immune from prosecution, even if they hear it, which I doubt they will.
I feel like it will be sent back down.
That's what I feel. These are all stall tactics for Trump because he thinks he's going to win. And if he wins, he can.
Yeah, but this particular hit he's about ready to get feels
Yeah,
soon. It's going to
right.
really hurt him.
Well, I see him being held in New York under criminal charges, but I wrote something in my notes here, and I know you had read on it. I just want to bring it up. Every question on everybody's lips is, will he pay? I mean, what is it, 387 million?
Oh
He'll
yeah.
lose that case on appeal, by the way.
But listen, even if he's not around, if he don't make it that far, because he's not going to be president, they'll take all his stuff. The IRS is coming next, by the way.
Oh, good.
The IRS, it's like Mother Nature. No one fools with Mother Nature. No one fools with the IRS.
Or Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, or Mickey Mouse.
I saw the lady, E. Jean Carroll, is that her name, getting her money. And, he's just Philip, he's just being a blowhard because he's not as rich as what everybody thought he was.
Oh, well, he's a big, huge liar, and he wanted to be on the Forbes list, and he lied about that. But
Right.
he's over there whining to Putin. Trust me,
I'm sorry, say again.
he's whining to Putin. He
Of
needs money
course he
from
is.
them, but they don't have the money.
Well, if he gets it, it'll come out.
Yeah, and China's going through a real big economic collapse. I'll tell you, a lot of these people, they put too much money in stuff they shouldn't have. But China, I never saw China on Russia's side that much.
Well, the thing is, the economic collapse or what's going on in China, it's almost like Venezuela years ago. They had oil on Lake Maracaibo, and they were part of OPEC, the oil producing exporting countries. But they had like a Bentley in the driveway and they didn't know how to drive it. So a lot of money was squandered and all that. The same with China. They had a Bentley parked and they just didn't know how to drive it. So they made some
Okay.
bad investments and they're paying the price now. But at some point, I see a free China.
Yeah, down the road, down the road. But also that nuclear stuff that's going on, and Biden, Putin likes for us to be nervous, and of course he loves this stuff going out that he has all this stuff. But as far as who's providing them with the nukes, people were asking that's very obvious as the nose on my face. North Korea.
Right.
They caught North Korea in action bringing nukes to Russia.
Well, Russia had the nukes anyway because they coerced.
No, North Korea gave them nukes.
Okay, but
The
Russia had.
CIA announced it. Yeah.
Right. I believe that.
Yeah.
Um,
Russia already had them, but I think the nukes to go in space were given by North Korea.
I see. Yeah, I believe that. But it was amazing back in 2008, or when they had that puppet in from Putin, they encouraged Ukraine to turn over their nuclear weapons to Russia, and they did because under the Soviet Union, they had a lot of missile silos and all of that in Ukraine.
Isn't that something?
Yep.
So pick the next question.
Okay. Well, this is a good one. How you say "c'est la vie"? My French is not good. I think it's pronounced c'est la vie. C'est la vie. Hello, Mel and Linda. Why are young people becoming estranged from their parents in record numbers? It said they are trying to find themselves and who they really are. Is this true? Will it work? And will they come back sooner than later? Thank you, both beautiful and funny people. Love you. Oh, thanks, they love you. So why are young people becoming estranged from
Because a
their?
lot of young people are living with their parents.
Well,
More
right.
young people are living with their parents than ever.
Well, because it's hard for
Too
them to go
expensive.
on. Yeah, and with college costs. But you know what I think? I remember in the 60s, the kids were protesting, and in the early 70s, and those protests changed a lot of society for the
Yeah,
better. And back then they were like, oh, they're hippies, they're estranged from their parents. I kind of think that's the same with every generation.
yeah.
But I think the kids of MAGAs, those kids are really a lot of them are gonna rebel.
Or any of that religious stuff.
Correct. Correct. They'll go the other way. So um I think it'll come back to center at some point, say Levy.
Okay. Sweet darling Lulu.
I love that name. She's a
Judge
nice.
Scott McGuff in the Georgia case, will he control the reins in this ridiculous antics? And can we trust him? I don't know who he is. Do you know who he is?
I don't know, but I heard yes, we can trust him, and yes, he will control the reins.
Oh, okay. Your turn.
All right. Oh, this is good. I heard about this and I laughed so hard. Uh Auntie Mel and Ms. Linda. Orange Nightmare is trying to sell gold tennis shoes.
Oh, I saw those tennis shoes.
The hustle targeting senior citizens are the youth. They are the ugliest shoes I've ever seen in my life. I wouldn't even give it to my dog to
They're
wear.
Nikes, yeah.
Um, well, I think Nike's going to disavow itself from him too, right? At some point, they're like, wait, we don't endorse.
They're going to be a complete failure, is what I heard.
Correct. And the first thing that went to my mind was, geez, I wonder if he got the gold from that gold toilet.
Okay. Well, the other thing is, they were booing him. Did you hear that? A lot of people were booing him.
Absolutely.
He was supposed to speak for 60 minutes and he was up there a few minutes and he was gone.
I thought to myself, I might buy one just to like, but then I thought, I'm not going to give any money to Trump.
Well, actually, any money you pay, some guy bought a pair of gold ones with the Trump signature on it for $9,000, and that goes straight to Gene.
Honey, if I had $9,000, I wouldn't spend on a pair of gold sneakers from Trump. I'd have my butt on a vacation in Europe.
There you go. Okay.
When somebody asked, oh, hold on a minute. Sarah Duvall just says, is your son okay?
Yes, he's fine. He took a spill. I was talking to Cool Crown, minding my own beeswax. Fortunately, I had this on mute and I heard a boom. Then I heard Mom. I went flying and he was on the ground. He had fallen from the high step to the cement. And, but by the grace of God, he was okay. He didn't, I always fear slipping. I put those strips on those steps to make sure you couldn't slip, but he tripped. And it wasn't even caused by the dogs, but his ankle was really sore. I thought, oh God. And I even didn't know if I was going to have to call 911, but he was able to get up and then I gave him some Aleve and he waited. And then by today, he's skipped out of here. He's
Which
doing
son was
fine.
that?
Huh?
Which one was that? Which son was that?
Jacob, the one
Yeah.
who lives in Nevada.
That's a
So
good
listen,
idea.
go ahead.
If you got, with all the rain in California, if you've got like sidewalks, put some anti-fall strips on there so you can get some traction.
That's what I have, fall strips on the thing, but fortunately, the way he landed it, he said on his butt, it cushioned him.
Thank goodness there
Like
wasn't.
me, if I landed like that, I probably would have bounced up a couple of times.
If
I do
landed,
have some news to tell you guys, and I just got permission to say so. Andre's mother died last night.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and she had been sick. Remember, she had that stroke. So keep your eye open on my community part of the page. I'll find out where we can donate in her name.
Put me down for $100.
Okay, well, you'll have to go to the whatever site it is.
I will.
Okay, sweetie. So I just wanted, it was okay. He said it was okay for me to tell you guys that his mother crossed.
He is the
So
nicest,
pray for her well-being on the other side.
or better yet, pray for the ones left behind because it's hard for the ones left behind.
Well, that's the hard part because they're still alive.
I feel like she went right to the light, by the way.
I do too. And you know, I read on her when she first had the stroke, and I couldn't give him good news. I couldn't say to him, oh, she's going to rally. She's going to be, it wasn't in the cards. It felt like when she stroked, it was the beginning of the end.
Sometimes if they have a massive stroke like that, it's kind of better if they do cross because the neurology can cause, one-sided paralysis and
Yeah.
swallowing and stuff like that. But Andre's a very nice man.
He's a wonderful guy, you guys.
He's an excellent astrologer, and I'm just sorry for the loss.
I'm very honored to know him. And
Yes.
he's got a terrific family. He's got great sisters and a great wife. So yeah, he's being protected, but I'll let you guys know. So go ahead and pick a question.
He's an all-around nice guy.
He's really nice. And you know what? He gets my jokes, and sometimes I bust him out because he seemed kind of serious because he's a Capricorn. But boy, sometimes I like that time, I don't know if it was you and him and me, and I said, when I get the new tatas, I said, we'll do a live and I'll do show and tell. And he nearly died. He was cracking up. You're used to it. But him is like, oh my God.
I was cracking up. That's why I said, yeah, you're gonna get a new website called bodaciousTatas.com or something.
Okay, so let's go for the next question. It's your turn.
Okay. Laura Knight says, oh, by the way, I'm glad your son is okay.
Thank you.
Hello, Mel and Linda. I just saw that Trump has a GoFundMe for the judgment in New York. He's trying to raise money.
They shut it down.
Oh, good. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's illegal to get a GoFundMe for something like that, he did something illegal.
Well, he said that they said he's already got up to 35,000. What happens
They
to that?
closed it down. That's what was on the news. They closed it down.
Oh,
You're not supposed to profit from something that you did you were convicted of.
I'm glad they shut it down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here's a good question.
He's going to try other ways to get money from people. And the thing is, that's income. And if he doesn't declare that as income, then
the IRS is knocking on his door right now. I can't wait. Okay, here's another one. Hi, wonderful Mel and Linda. My question is, does Trump use psychics? Or is he himself psychic?
No. I don't think any psychic in their right mind. I think he
knows when he's getting ready to have a big dump. He can feel that.
That's about it. No, he can't feel that either. He's stinky pants, remember? I'm
almost feeling maybe Melania talks to a astrologer or something, but I'm not feeling him, no.
I don't feel it.
Okay.
Okay. Maria Ramos, is there another pandemic virus coming this year?
No.
I mean, we'll still have variants of COVID and, a big flu year because it didn't get cold enough to kill off everything. But I don't see like a major pandemic like we had. No.
Not that there won't be another pandemic, but not particularly this year.
Right.
Velda wants to know, will Marjorie Taylor Greene constituents elect her for another term?
I keep seeing her gone, but she's in a pretty red.
I'm feeling like she might get voted back in, but I'm feeling she'll have to go because right after they get Trump on the January 6th, Jack Smith's going to grab everybody else.
I want to ask you if you're picking up on this. Are you picking up another House member leaving soon? Because that just hit me. My psychic light bulb went on. I don't think it's her, but it's going to be a Republican, not a Democrat.
Having to leave due to health, or?
I don't know. It's just my light bulb went on, and in my mind, I kind of heard with my inner voice, another House member leaving soon, a Republican, because I saw that razor thin margin getting thinner and thinner.
I feel like that could be true. It might be that guy that got shot. I heard he's really challenged with a form of cancer.
Oh, wow.
So he might go due to health reasons.
Yeah, I
What's
felt it.
his name? You know, the one that they even brought him up to be speaker and he lost.
Yeah, he was shot in the hip, I think.
Yeah. But he has some sort of cancer right now.
I felt bad for him, but I
No,
just,
he talks terrible about other human beings.
well, I felt
And
bad
he's
because
a Trumpster all the way.
felt bad because it was shot. I don't want to see anybody get shot,
No, we don't
uh,
want that.
but I see another Republican leaving the House again soon. How many seats are they? What is
50
their?
seats will be opened.
I know that, but what is their what majority of the held right now? Is it 1 or 2 seats?
I think it's two.
Well, we predicted that a Democrat would win over Santos, and that Democrat won huge.
Right.
So that's another blue wave. So, yay.
They're not even opening their eyes. They're not seeing how much trouble they're in. They stand hard against abortion. They're still doing the things that America is going to turn away from them.
Because they're pandering to the so-called ultra right-wing Christian right. If that's Christianity, count me out, you know? Anyway,
Okay. Oh, I already asked the question. Now it's your turn.
um, this is a really good one, I think. And I see this overseas a lot. I'm never the nasty American when I go overseas. I'm always very polite and nice. That's the best way to be, is polite and nice. Mel Doerr, once again, oh, she asked another question. When will Americans stop being so rude and disrespectful? And I see that on the rise since Trump was president.
Yeah. Very ugly. It's all going to change. It takes a couple of years.
I see the pendulum swinging back,
Yeah.
back, where people will be more respectful again.
Tone just said something. This is amazing. Linda, I don't have a question, but I had to point out that you got a recent vision of Trump asking, "Where are my shoes? Where's my shoes?" I had a vision on one of my shows that Trump was saying, "Where's my shoes?" I thought, what does that mean? That he's getting arrested and they're dragging him out and he can't get his shoes? Does it have something to do with those Nike shoes? That's weird, because I did say this like last week. I said, he's saying, "Where's my shoes?" Maybe it even means those shoes are a nothing burger. It's just not going to make him any money.
I think that's it. He's going to try a lot of stuff that's not going to work. And
Some guy said he bought that gold thing that he had and he paid all kinds of money for it. And he went to try to sell it. It was worth nothing.
but my light bulb just went on again. And I think you hit on something, because they worry about Biden's mental health and Biden's forgetful. Biden forgot more than Trump ever knew. Biden is fine. And by the way, that whole report ended up being a huge nothing burger, as you would say.
Exactly.
But I think Where's My Shoes to me, it's showing that there's something going on organically in Trump's head. I don't know if it's dementia, the beginning of it, but something ain't right. And, where's my shoes? In other words, that it's showing in the vision, I think, him forgetful. And I think there's this form of dementia starting for him.
Isn't that interesting?
That's what I pick up. And the gold shoes would be a big flop. And also him
Okay.
being arrested, like, where's my shoes?
Okay. Crazy Shark. Oh, wait. That was a comment.
That was
So
a
can I
comment.
do a question? When do you see home prices coming down?
I think,
Next year, I was feeling.
well, I do too. I think, when the feds meet, they're going to reduce interest rates for a 5 to 10 year fix, and then that'll be ultimately go to a 20 or 30 year fix. I can see the rates coming down to maybe 4%, and that would put more houses on the market, which would bring down prices. That's what I
Okay.
see.
Okay. Your question.
Judith Juliet says, are there talks going on between Dems and moderate Republicans to push Ukraine vote in the House? The answer is yes.
Yeah.
And
I see them really working hard at it.
well, here's the deal. If the preacher, as I call him, the Speaker of the House, Johnson, if he doesn't bring it to the House floor, I think there's going to be some moderates in the House that are going to
Sign up with the Dems to force it to the floor, and it will pass.
and come forward to get him out, just like Matt Gaetz started that. I don't know if it was a petition to get rid of McCarthy. That's exactly what's going to happen by some moderate Dems getting together to get rid of
Yeah.
Johnson.
And by the way, you guys, as we prophesied, sorry it's taking so long. Matt Gaetz is in big trouble.
He is
You're
in
in
big,
trouble, girl.
he's got
And
that right.
McCarthy is part of the reason behind that, because there's a lot of stuff going on. They found some stuff now where the girl testified that when she was a minor, he took her across state line. That's a lot of stuff coming up. He's getting ready to go down.
Well, McCarthy's going to get a lot of dirt on a lot of them and bring it to
Mm-hmm.
is about him getting revenge, but he'll never be speaker again. I don't
No,
see that. And I think once Johnson is done with this, then he's pretty much done politically as well.
yeah.
So
Okay. Is
go
it
ahead.
you or me?
It's you.
The price of groceries has gone up more than 50% in the last 2 years in South Africa. I was going to say out here, no, it's 20-something percent, but still expensive. We're paying twice what we did 2 years ago for staples like oil, butter, and eggs. Do you see consumer costs coming down anytime soon?
The answer is yes. And what I see in South Africa is the same here as legislation passed to stop the price gouging.
Yeah.
Because we were just talking about this, I think last night, where people were saying, or the night before last, well, there was a supply chain shortage, yeah, right. And so prices supposedly went up. And I go, yeah, but there's no more supply chain shortage, so the prices should come down. And I
No, they kept it up.
right. And but I see prices coming down, just like chickens. Remember when they raised the price of chickens and
Oh,
everybody
it was
stopped buying
actually,
chickens?
and people stopped buying chicken. And now you can get a package and a free package and it's down to like $8. I'm telling you, and the eggs are going down. They were $9. Now they're down to $7. It's going to keep dropping.
And that's what's going to happen here. And that's what's going to happen in South Africa. People are going to say, wait a minute, keep your chicken. And that forces these big grocery chains to come down in price. But I still see legislation there and here being passed to stop that price gouging.
I see Katie Porter in the middle of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I see her making sure, because they even downsize their boxes. When I was young, you guys, and I'm pretty old,
Oh,
a nickel bar, candy bar was about this big.
right.
It was
Right.
huge. You
Right.
could
And
eat
now
it
they're
for
like,
2 days.
now it's $5.
Now it's like this big and it's several dollars and they've cut things down tremendously.
I went to a Mexican restaurant about 2 weeks ago, and I used to go there a lot. And I got the carne asada. It's like a skirt steak. And I think it was like $35 or something. Usually they're
Yeah,
pretty,
steak is really expensive.
it is a good steak, but it was tiny. And I just said, when did you guys reduce your food size? Oh, well. And I was like, no, for $35, I ain't going back there.
Yeah, I ordered my son like something from Applebee's. It's a steak and something else. Can't remember what else it is. And they used to give a nice sized tri-tip. It was about that big.
Oh, yeah. Even chuck pot roast at the store are becoming smaller.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
okay, your turn.
All right. Sophia Harris wants to know, is DeSatan going to run for Senate when his term is up?
I don't see anybody backing him.
If
Just like that guy Muchin. What did I tell you guys? He was saying, I'm kind of checking it out, looking at maybe doing a run for president. I said, no way in hell. He's going to go out there and everybody's saying, who? No, we don't want you. He
Mnuchin,
couldn't
yeah.
run for president because nobody was behind him.
How about Cinema?
Oh, she's a goner.
She's done.
They're both goners.
If he
But
runs,
he's already said he's not going to run, and she turned into an independent. It's not going to save her.
if DeSatan runs for Senate, he won't win. Not going to happen.
No.
I mean, he's
No,
pretty.
he's a nothing burger. He'll finish his governorship, but he's a nothing burger.
Ooh,
What?
this is a good one. It's a great question. Listen to
What?
this.
What?
Judith Juliet says, this would be a likely time to leak nasty information on Mike Johnson. Is there any hope that this puppet could be voted out soon? Yes.
Yeah, but I even see some untoward money situations.
Me too.
I don't know what he doesn't have a checking account. I don't think so. I think he's being investigated as we speak.
So do I. I see him looking behind closed doors.
Yeah.
There's going to be some stuff coming out of us about his private life as well. I
Right,
won't
right.
tell on that, and it'll be true.
It'll be true. And we'll be like,
Well,
oh, you and I will be sitting under the tree with our mint juleps. And I'll say, my, oh my, Mel, did you hear about Johnson? You'll say, that's nice.
ain't that
That's so
nice?
nice. They made him pull up his petalumas and leave.
I'll be, ain't that right? Give me another mint julep, girl. Love it. All right, it's your turn.
Rosalind said, and God bless her sweetheart, when will all this be over with concerning 45? I wish we could give you the wins. I've been talking on this show since 2017, and I've been predicting that you're going to see the Republicans jumping off the ship like rats. He was going down. I even saw him in a coffin. But I will tell you this, it will end. And I'm sorry it's taking so long, but it will end. It's like this one lady I read, I predicted this man, he showed up 4 years later, but she said, Linda, every single thing you said about him was exactly who he was.
I have that too. They say, you told me this 10 years ago, and but it took 10
Oh, we
years.
don't have to wait 10 years. It's coming soon.
Oh,
And thanks to you and my Andre, which is one of the reasons I really liked him, was he used to say, if you'll notice, things just are sliding off Trump. Like he never gets in trouble. He could have been a contender because he had that kind of aspects. He was born during an eclipse and he had all these things in his sign, but he decided to take it to the dark side. And so now he will pay the piper. And Andre said, I think it was started by the end of last year, right? You're going to see him not being able to slide anymore.
You and I did a collab and he said that too. I remember him saying that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to call him Teflon Trump.
But it's not Teflon anymore. It's sticking. And he can't believe it. Of course, everything's a big controversy. It's Biden's administration that caused this. Cool. All these juries and everything, they're no good. It's a Biden administration. Go get a life.
Well, I think he's going to be like flypaper now. There's going to be a lot that sticks.
Yeah.
A lot. So anyway, Teflon Trump, things will stick. Good.
Right.
All right. Let's see. Emmy J says, hi, Linda and Mel. There was talk of a new vaccine coming out for estrogen-dominant breast cancer. Will it be available in the next future? Will it have a good success rate? Being I was a victim of this disease, I'm anxious to know. They say 1 in 8 women will get this cancer. Well, I think a lot of it's the stuff they put in our food, but I do see a vaccine.
I do too.
Just like the vaccine for human papillomavirus, which stops oropharyngeal cancer and also stops cervical cancer.
Right.
Because it stops the virus that creates it. So I do see a vaccine coming out, and it will be, it'll be almost 100% effective, but not all breast cancers, but estrogen.
Mine was estrogen related, and they try to make me take this drug for the next 5 years post cancer. It caused so many side effects. I've talked to so many women that said, Linda, I couldn't take it. I said, me neither. Fortunately, my cancer was in 2009, and now we're in 2024. I think I'm good right now.
Some of the, I think, like tamoxifen, well, I don't know the name of the drugs they use now, but sometimes those can have worse effects, than sometimes the treatment is worse than the disease, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
But, well, the good news is you're cancer-free.
I'm cancer-free.
The good news is whoever asked this, I feel, will be cancer-free. So good.
Yeah. They got stuff coming up with prostate and breast cancer.
Oh, good.
So Teresa Jackson, she said, her question is, how can we effectively help in the violence, death, and destruction in Palestine? Get rid of Navalny, because I'm telling you, even with President Biden saying, stop it,
not Navalny, not Navalny.
Sorry. What's his name? Sorry. Netanyahu. I saw the N and I went the wrong way. Sorry. Get rid of Netanyahu, because let me tell you my prediction and then we'll see. He's still going to do something that's going to create some violence and some terrible things happening. And that is the last straw.
Well, because he's telling these people to where they live to evacuate. The only problem is there's nowhere for them to go.
Right. No
And
gas, no food to eat, no nothing.
he's got this one, you know, he is doing to the Gaza Strip what Putin is doing to Ukraine. And
I would love to do to Ukraine, starve them out.
it's inhumane. And I mean, granted, you know, Hamas invaded, I mean, attacked Israel. I get all of that. But, but okay, Netanyahu, you've got this thing. One, why kill any more innocent people from either
Right.
side?
Oh, no, well, unfortunately, Hamas infiltrates within the regular people. And that's what, but he doesn't care. He'll kill the regular people too. He won't say that out loud,
Right.
but that's what he's doing. And I'm telling you, he doesn't listen to advice. Right now, there was money set out for him, and I guess they've already shut it down and said, look, you've got to agree to these terms or you're not getting another dime. He
Well,
is really not a good person. And I'm going to tell you, he will go on trial for what crimes against humanity.
I put him in the same category that I put Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin.
Yeah,
Seriously.
I saw blood on his hands.
Me too. And he's, you know, I'm pro-Israel, but I'm not pro-Netanyahu.
But
And
I almost feel like he even knew this was going to happen before it happened. Like he wanted it to happen. Just as they say President Roosevelt kind of knew about Pearl Harbor before it actually happened. I guess Japan
well,
told us they were getting ready to bomb. But
they,
because of that, we were able to get into the war.
they didn't have the exact date, and we were kind
Right.
of hands down,
Might
but
be with this too, yeah.
they knew that Japan was talking about it. But I think Netanyahu had more information on that attack that Hamas did against Israel, and they just didn't act on it.
Yeah.
So, but I see Netanyahu gone. I mean, he's got pretty much the free world against him. And I think this is going to be a lot of political pressure for Palestine to become a separate state and Israel to be a separate state. That's how I see it playing out ultimately. Anyway,
Okay.
all right. That was a good question, actually. All right. Hey, Linda and Mel. I was wondering if you could read on Generation Z and anxiety. I work with a lot of young people and they don't want to drive. They're scared to order food on restaurants and even hook up through text. Just curious. Thanks for all you do for us. Those are good questions, actually.
Generation Z is really signing up for I'm glad they're going to be in charge down the road here. I don't see as phobic as she's saying. I don't know what city she lives in. But I'll tell you that these kids, I had to beg my son to get a driver's license at 19. I was 15 and a half and couldn't wait to get my permit.
Oh, me
But
either.
I read a lot of people who said their kids are the same way. They prefer you being their cab driver.
Well, I also think because of the mass shootings, and if you're texting somebody you don't know, you don't know who they are. Um, you know, if you go out to a restaurant or to a shopping center, they're worried, like, what if there's some mass shooter? I mean, we have to do something about gun control in this country.
Yeah, we will.
It's these younger generations that are going to speak up and say we're tired of these mass shootings. Just like after the Kansas City Chiefs game, there was a mass shooting. I mean, oh my God. I mean, there's got to be something done. Anyway, so but it's being done so they can live life less fearfully. It's your turn, dear.
Is the House going to pass a budget or are they trying to tank the economy?
What they do is more nails in their coffin.
I mean, for them to go on a 2-week vacation in the middle of all this drama.
And get paid for it. If we did that with our employers, well, I'm self-employed. What would happen to people who did that, who worked for a corporation? They'd be canned, right?
Yeah.
They're going to wait until like 2 seconds before midnight before.
I see Mike Johnson pissing off the Republicans because he will do some. He doesn't want that on his resume, even though Trump's telling him, let it burn. I feel like he may try to do something.
He will, but what'll happen is they'll just postpone it for another 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
That's what I see. All right. Let's see here. Okay.
Last question.
Okay. You want to ask the last question? Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
All right. Kathy Reagan's. Hi, Kathy. Kathy's cool. Well, everybody's cool, but all right. Hello, beautiful, lovely Linda, and marvelous, amazing Auntie Mel. Thank you. My question is, will the RNC stop paying 45's legal fees? At some
Not
point,
right now, but they will.
at some point, yes, because I don't know legally if they can do that. And do you see 45 actually paying the fines levied against him? Oh,
They'll
absolutely.
have to, because he's going to play it all the way to Supreme Court. Supreme Court's so done with him. It's almost like a tennis, except for Thomas. It's almost like they're bouncing the ball right back to him.
You know, somebody asked earlier, when will all this stuff with 45 go away? And my light bulb went on and said, when he crosses over.
Yeah. But I see everything in litigation. All the family's monies has to pay for his legal stuff.
And they're going to have to pay.
Yeah.
I got a question, one for you real quick.
Okay.
I see this psychically all the time, but do you see his name taken off Trump Tower in Chicago?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yay.
Absolutely.
I just hope they leave Rump up for a while. I keep saying that. I'm going to be down there like cheering, go, when they do it.
Yeah. All right, my friend.
All right.
Thank you so much.
And we have a venue for our Chicago event, and we're going to have the date soon. We're working on pricing. I was really excited.
And we're going to talk to that gal and get the 411.
Yep, it's a really nice place. It's a really awesome place. So.
Okay.
All righty.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Next week. Love you.
Love you guys. Now I got to go out in that rain because I have to get a couple of things. I have to go out in it. So, Molly, hi, you guys. Let me get my rain boots going.
Get your arc ready.
Bye, you guys. Cheers.